So welcome to the iOS programming course for the summer session of 2020. I'll be the instructor. My official name is Wallace Wong. You can just call me Wally. And my email is right there, wew008@ucsd.edu. So you can email me anytime you have questions or problems or any issues whatsoever regarding this course. Just feel free to email me at any time and I'll get back to you probably within a few hours, but at least within the next day or so. So to take this course, you absolutely need a fairly modern Macintosh. It needs to be running Mac OS 10.14, which is Mojave. Ideally, it should be running Mac OS 10.15, which is Catalina. But again, if you have an older Macintosh and you can only run Mac OS 10.14, then that is fine. You also need Xcode, which is Apple's free programming tool. And you can get that from the Mac App Store. And again, it's absolutely free. The version you need is at least Xcode 10, preferably Xcode 11. At the time of this recording, the latest version of Xcode is 11.5, and you should always upgrade to the latest version of Xcode because it always has bug fixes and additional features, and you want to keep up with all of the latest features that Apple has for Xcode. So again, to take this course, you absolutely need access to a Macintosh running Mac OS 10.14, preferably 10.15 Catalina, and Xcode 10, again, preferably Xcode 11.5. All of the examples I'll be doing for the course will be through Catalina, Mac OS 10.15, and Xcode 11.5. So if you're using Xcode 10, your screen will look slightly different. So let's see what this course is all about. So each day you'll need to go through one module and practice creating Xcode projects. At the end of those modules, and those modules have short videos for you to follow along, watch one video in the assignment module and follow the instructions at the end of the assignment. So what you'll be doing is watching a video at the end of the module in the assignment, and based on that video, you'll have to write a very short description of what you learned, and then you'll also have to create an Xcode project and email that to me at the end of each day, because this course is very short. So each day you have to complete an Xcode project. And again, these projects are very short, so that you should have any trouble. If you do have any problems, again, just email me at any time. So each day represents one lesson, and the first lesson, it's broken up into several lectures, lecture 1, 2, and 3, and each module consists of 3 different lectures. And the lectures, again, are very short, and you need to follow along with them using your Macintosh and follow the instructions to program and create projects in Xcode. At the end of each module is the assignment, and the assignment for lesson 1, you'll have a choice of watching one of 2 videos, and the videos are typically about 1 hour in length. And again, you don't have to watch them straight through, but you need to do and complete the entire video. And after watching the video, at least for lesson 1, you have to come up with an idea for a non-game app based on what you learned by watching one of those videos. And also for lesson 1 assignment, you'll have to create an iOS project that displays text in different fonts and a label and a text field. And then email me your project. And when you email me your Xcode project, you will have to compress or zip it so it's one entire file. And what you need to do is right-click on the Xcode project folder and email me that compressed folder. So the goal of this course is 2 goals. First, we want to get comfortable using Xcode. Xcode is Apple's free programming tool, but just because it's free doesn't mean that it is not very sophisticated, because Xcode is the programming tool that Apple, Adobe, Microsoft, IBM, every major company uses Xcode to develop apps for the Macintosh, for the iPhone, the iPad, the Apple Watch, Apple TV. So you're just going to learn a little bit about how to use Xcode, but you need to get familiar with Xcode. The second goal of this course is to get comfortable programming in the Swift programming language. So I'm assuming you have some sort of programming background in some sort of object-oriented language such as Java or maybe C++ or C Sharp. So if you have any type of background in Python or Java, you'll find Swift is a very simple language to learn quickly. And if you're a total beginner, again, these lessons are designed for everyone, but you're going to have to take a little bit of time to learn the Swift language as well. So once you get done with this course, you're going to be able and comfortable in using Xcode and programming in Swift, so you could program literally every type of product that Apple offers, from the Macintosh, the iPhone, the iPad, the Apple Watch, Apple TV, and best of all of these products, all of these platforms, all use the Swift programming language. So you can write an app for the iPhone and run it with very little modification on the iPad, and with a little bit more modification, run it on the Macintosh, and maybe a little bit more modification, run it on the Apple Watch and Apple TV. So you can essentially write one app and run it on multiple platforms, multiple products, which is something you cannot do easily with other types of platforms such as Windows or Android. So what's especially useful for the future is today's Macintosh computers use what's called an Intel processor. And an Intel processor is a processor created and designed by a company called Intel. And Intel processors have been used in IBM compatible computers for decades. So if you have a Windows PC, it's using an Intel processor or a competitor called AMD. But the future of the Macintosh is their own processors, which they call Apple Silicon. And the purpose of Apple Silicon is to make the Macintosh even more powerful and more energy efficient than any other laptop or desktop computer that's currently on the market today. So you can see from this chart, there's always a trade-off between desktop computers and notebook computers. But using Apple Silicon, you're going to get power and low power consumption at the same time. So Apple is going to release new Macintoshes at the end of this year that will be using what they call Apple Silicon, which is Apple's own processors. And those processors are essentially the processors used in the iPhone and the iPad today. So the iPad, the iPhone, the Apple Watch, Apple TV will be all using the same type of processor, which is why when you write code for one product, such as the iPhone, you can easily rewrite that product to run on other Apple platforms. And this is really the future. It's called augmented reality. And Apple Glasses is a rumored product, and it's coming out probably next year. But if you've ever heard of Pokemon Go, where you use your iPhone to look for cartoon monsters in the real world, that's using augmented reality. But augmented reality is going to be a huge future, especially with wearable computers, such as Apple Glasses. Right now, Apple has two types of wearable computers. One is the Apple Watch, the other one is AirPods. And wearable computers are the next huge market, moving beyond mobile computing, which is smartphones and tablets, which have moved beyond laptops and desktops. So by learning Xcode and Swift in this course, you're going to have a great foundation for the future.